See, for example, if you say jalebi and you eat it so beautiful and so nice, I know it because I have already tried it. Okay. But if you say joy, like, where is it? Where is it coming from?
Yo,
no idea about that.
When you see a very nice movies, you don't feel tears. The tears will not come. That's patriotic movies are not. You don't feel there are no tears in your eyes. Yeah. That is actually bhakti. Now that bhakti you have to apply to Guru, God. Okay, so you have to test by chanting what I feel. I feel that inspiration.
I only feel thankfulness, Guruji. When I do with Guru or something, I feel so thankful and gratitude. That's all. What else is there? That's all I feel.
Do that. See, fill your heart with gratitude, thankfulness, peace, rather than negative thinking.
See, even now when you are talking, I'm feeling the same thing.
Correct, Abba. Adanne. That is the beginning. No, that's what you do. So what happens? That will remove your all negative impressions in the mind. What is the point of saying I have negative impressions? There is nothing. It won't help you anywhere. What is the point that I have a khanda or all those things? Wrong thinking. It doesn't help you. You have to replace with the positive thoughts. Okay, thinking about Guru gives you joy or peace. Read. People do chant. Yesterday we met one great man who has 934 times he has completed Guru Charitra. Guru Charitra is this big book. He has completed the Parayana book 934 times.
Oh, did he? Also?
Yeah, he's almost on the verge of reaching 1,000.
But she does every day, every moment, Guruji.
No,
I have seen her.
No,
what I'm saying is
there is a book there only. We have to start reading.
No. That book reading won't help you. The book is here.
That's what we are doing now every time.
Okay, what I'm saying is, you have to check yourself by reading what my mood gets elevated. I feel joyful. Okay, that there are. See, for example, you have seen me crying sometimes, right? When I'm non-dual, but still that gives a joy. Still okay. Like Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishnaya Namaha. If I chant, I'll start crying. Okay, so the greatness of Ramakrishna Paramahansa gives me joy. That doesn't mean that there's a duality. Right? It's myself.
We are extraordinary beings. We are ordinary beings. It's a bit tough for us. Yes, are not coming.
One incident, ಭಜನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಪ್ರತಿ ಗುರುವಾರ ದಿವಸ ಭಜನೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ಆರತಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರ ಒಂದು ಭಜನೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಆಯ್ತು, ನಮ್ಮ ಅನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಭಜನೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾನಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳುವ ಒಬ್ರು ಹೇಳೋದು, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಡಿಸೋದು. ಅವ್ರ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ
he'll tell a bhajan, nice bhajan, which is composed. Okay, and that he'll sing. Everybody doesn't sing the bhajan, and he'll sing that bhajan, and everybody else will cry.
Everybody crying.
He will not cry.
And next half an hour, nobody should talk. Silent, without any.
So for me, it is very difficult to get the emotions which I used to get earlier, bhakti emotion.
Oh, you get Guruji. When you are watching TV, your whole body is shaking.
But that's only small fraction of what I used to experience earlier. Small fraction, not even this thing. Because the more you merge, you'll become more and more silent. Okay, but when you have a duality, actually you have a sense of duality. You may think that non-duality is this one. Then you have, for you, the bhajans and prayers will help. But you have to choose the right kind of bhajans and prayers. Okay.
Topic I started.
Okay. So in duality, we have not reached the non-dual. Advaita we have not reached. Okay. Then Upasana of God is great. Knowing very well that there is non-duality. Okay. Shankara was a great bhakta, the devotee. Right? Shankara is Advaita, but his competencies, Bhaja Govindam or any of these, they are very full of devotion. Okay. When you praise God, when you chant the name of God, okay, the duality starts dissolving. But you have to do a test. What is the test you have to do? You have to, when you do that, when you upasana, it should not be mechanical. Okay, it should not be mechanical. Okay, it can be Shiva. It can be Vishnu. It can be about Guru Stotra, Guru Padaka Stotra. It can be chanting of Guru's name or God's name. Whatever is that, you should experience it. The experience. Yesterday, there was a this thing. One bhajan, one sloka, one Kannada bhajans his grandfather had composed. You should experience fully. The experience fully involves three things. One is that in your mouth, chanting. Mouth, you have to do chanting. Okay. In hand, you may have japamala. Okay. In the mind, in the heart, or in front of you, you should feel the presence of the divinity. That means you are fully getting involved in that. Okay. And with that, if you do in the right way, you start feeling purified. The tears will come. Those tears are actually purifying tears. Okay. You have to test which one will give you tears. This sloka will give me tears, you do that. This bhajan will give me tears, you do. This form of God will give me tears, you do that. This form of Guru will give me tears, you do. What brings tears in your eyes? That is abhishekam for God. Not the abhishekam of what you pour. The abhishekam has to come from the tears which you have. That's abhishekam. And pushpam or flower which you offer, it should be mantra pushpam. Your words should be pushpam. The chanting should be pushpam. Your tears should be abhishekam. Okay. Then the joy which you experience in your heart is called amrita, panchamrita. It is made from your body. The 5 elements of your body, amrita comes in your heart. That's called panchamrita. Not the panchamrita made of milk and so you start feeling the nectar in your heart. Okay. This nectar can come only in devotion. In Advaita, there is a serenity, silence. But in Dvaita, the duality, there is a amrita. Panchamrita, you have heard that 5 amrita that we people. Actually, that's only very remote. It is not what I'm saying. It's very artificial. Real panchamrita has to be in the body. When 5 koshas, pancha koshas are there, in that the amrita will come. The heart will be filled with love. That is amrita. That heart will be filled with love when you have devotion in your heart. When you have God's name or God's japa in your mouth. Okay. And in your mind, maybe in front of you or in your heart, the presence of God is there either in the form of light or as a person. And in your hand, japamala is there. So then what happens? You are fully involved in that. And the real test of your full involvement is the tears will start flowing. Okay. And that abhishekam, if it happens, that's purifying your heart. That's called upasana. And upasana is the way to purify your heart. Okay. You find out what makes this joy. Shiva Stuti, Vishnu Stuti, Lakshmi Stuti, Devi Stuti, Guru Stuti, whichever makes you bring, but stick to one. Don't keep on switching. Then you get purified. Okay. And don't think that you are going to Dvaita. It is Advaita only. It's called Advaita Upasana. Knowing very well that God and Guru is not different from me, it's on myself. Okay. But God and Guru also has appeared in the form. Okay. For example, my Atma is Rama, Sri Rama. My Atma Rama is Rama. But that doesn't mean that Rama cannot appear, Parabrahma Rama cannot appear in the earth in the full form of power. Right? Same Atma appears as Parabrahma Rama. And as a Jiva, I will not have the ability of Parabrahma. I will not have the ability of Rama. Rama will be very powerful incarnation. My Atma is Krishna. My Atma is Krishna. Okay? That doesn't mean that Sri Krishna as Paramatma cannot come on the earth. He can come. And when he comes, his full power and glory is what we chant.
Myself has manifested as Krishna.
Krishna. So that is Advaita Upasana. You have Dvaita. You know Dvaita because Dvaita is there because same Atma has manifested Krishna. You know Advaita because it's my only Atma. So with that you do, it's called Advaita Upasana. Okay. You are not saying Krishna is different from me. You know that Krishna, my own Atma has manifested as Krishna. But when manifested as Krishna, all powers and glories of God comes into. So then you do Krishna Upasana, you are doing actually Upasana of the self only. It's called Advaita Upasana. But in that Upasana, there's no feeling that I am different from Krishna. The self is not different from Krishna. But the glory of the self is what you are chanting. Okay. So only test of your devotion is that, see, you have to do Abhishekam. Okay. Abhishekam means pouring water. It's not water. Your tears should be Abhishekam. Every day you should do that. Okay. And you have to offer Pushpam, Mantra Pushpam, your Stotra. Okay. Not the flowers. Stotra, Japa, chanting which comes through your mouth is the Mantra Pushpam. Okay. Then hand should have Japamala. Because that's mind has to be focused. If you are doing Japa, Japamala. Or if you are doing Stotra, Stotra. Mantra Pushpam you have to offer through mouth. Okay. Tears you have to offer as Abhishekam. And then Panchamrita will happen in your heart. Heart will be filled with the divine love. Okay. That's called Panchamrita. Amrita means nectar. Panchamrita means 5 Amritas, which is called Panchabhuta. Our body is made of 5 elements. Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha. Okay, there Amrita comes. That's called Panchamrita. Okay, whatever Panchamrita we take by adding milk, sugar, and all is very, very poor imitation of that. Really, you have to drink Panchamrita every day. Okay, this is Advaita Upasana. Don't think that Upasana is only Dvaita. Advaita Upasana is there. My Atma has manifested in this form. Guru is manifestation of the Atma, the self. So that Upasana we have to do. And we have to drink Panchamrita every day. That will purify our mind. If I am not able to experience the Advaita fully, non-duality fully, because my mind is still not purified. How to purify the mind? Is through devotion, bhakti. And bhakti, the test of bhakti is your eyes should be filled with tears and your heart should be filled with love. That's the test of bhakti. Not how much japa you did, how much of a puja you did. And you are able to drink that amrita, panchamrita in your mind. That is test of devotion. Okay? And do this, mind gets more and more purified. Don't think that Advaitis don't do Upasana. Advaitis are great Upasakas. That's called Advaita Upasana. Only though they think they know very well that Atma is everything, and Atma itself has manifested Rama. Atma itself has manifested Sri Krishna. And in the full power of glory of God manifested in the form of Krishna, Rama, or Guru. So that way they do Upasana. In me, some qualities of Atma is manifested, not fully. But what is fully manifested is here. With that, they do Upasana. Okay? Don't think that Advaita Upasana is Advaitas are not Upasikas. But only when you reach the stage of full Jnana, Purna Jnana, then they cannot, there is only oneness. So then the Upasana, external Upasana may stop, but that time only mind will be silent, total silent. As long as your mind is active, as long as your mind is mind has thoughts, you need to do Upasana, and Upasana purifies you. Is it clear? Shall we start? This is your record. Huh? So this can be a good
Take from here.
Yeah. We'll start. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Janaka Raja doesn't stop there. He is asking Yadnavalkya, please tell something more to me. He is not. Okay. The whole purpose of Janakaraja asking the question is to get as much gnana from the Yajnavalkya as possible for the sake of seekers. Please tell me something more. Okay. Then Yajnavalkya tells him, Atmanam Ched Vijaniyad Ayamasmiti Purushaha Kimichan Tasya Kamaya Shariram Anu Sanjvaret. One who has realized the self directly, he has no desire for anything from the body. See, this is called aparoksha jnana. Okay. One who has realized the self as called aparoksha jnana. Okay. Now I'll just give tell the way. Aparoksha jnana means what? Right? People are telling Guru Vedanta Upanishad, Guru tells you Tattvamasi, you are Brahman. Okay. Now Brahman is still remote for you. So what is Brahman? You are not getting Brahman, you are getting a clarity, and what you are getting clarity. There are two equations, Tvam and Brahman, you and Brahman. You have some concept of yourself and you have a concept of some Brahman. Finally, both have to match now. Equation has to match. Right? When I say you are Brahman, you think you have a lot of understanding. I am man, woman, I am husband, I am wife. So much of wrong understanding is there about yourself. Then Brahman, you have a wrong understanding. So Brahman have a lot of concepts. What is Brahman? Finally, lot of clarity has to emerge. So these two should match, I and Brahman. Then you don't have any doubts. Right? Until that, there's a mismatch. Correct? So doubt will be there. Okay. So the doubt have to be clarified. How does the clarification happens? Again, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. So no doubts will be there. Who is Brahman? No doubt there who is I. So then I and Brahman matching will be simple. So as long as the Brahman is separate from me, okay, the concept is there. It's called Paroksha Jnana. You may understand intellectually. You may understand intellectually Advaita and all those things. But finally, when the matching happens, I am Brahman. The clarity will be so much that I is consciousness. When I say I am referring to awareness, and Brahman is awareness. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. I am Brahman. That clarity will emerge. Crystal clear clarity. Okay. That is called Aparoksha Jnana. As long as I and Brahman are separate, I have intellectual understanding that Brahman is myself, Brahman, Advaita, all intellectual understanding is there. But still there is a separation between me and Brahman. That's called Paroksha Jnana, indirect knowledge. Okay. That Aparoksha Jnana has to happen. Very clear knowledge. Right? It's called Aparoksha, means direct knowledge. For example, right now when you say I, you have a clear understanding who is I. Maybe wrong understanding. I am a woman, I am a husband, I am a wife. When the Aparoksha Jnana happens, Aparoksha Jnana, because ignorance is goes, there's nothing new to get. Ignorance goes, then you know whenever you're referring I, that Brahman only is referred. God only is referred. Okay. That much of clarity has to come because our understanding is, mind is cluttered. Will that understanding happen very quick, very fast? Depends. What is the level of your maturity earlier? Okay. So there is a saying. A buffalo is going. Okay. Somebody comes and hits the buffalo. There's a sound. Buffalo thinks, oh, some sound is coming. Okay. Buffalo thinks some sound is coming. Then second time hits the buffalo. Oh, some sound is coming nearby. The third time hits buffalo. Then, oh, here somebody is hitting me. Then the buffalo starts running. Our intellect is like a buffalo. When you say Tattvamasi, you are Brahman. Okay? Immediately the understanding will not come.
Okay, somebody is Brahman.
Somebody is Brahman. Oh, Guruji is Brahman. That great scientist Brahman. Okay, all those things also start coming. Okay, somewhere somebody Brahman. Okay, it's not for me.
But at least not me.
Not me. Okay. So then gradually start. Oh, it's something about me only. Then, oh, it's not me. It's I. Is Brahman. So there's 3 levels of understanding takes place. That's called buffalo. Buffalo, actually, that same thing in Purana is told. It's Mahishasura, buffalo asura. Ignorance is called Mahishasura. The Mahishasura ignorance has gone into our head. Buffalo. You don't understand very quickly. Vedanta is saying Tattvamasi. This is Upanishad teaching is Tattvamasi, day in and day out. Then starts thinking, first level, it starts thinking, oh, there are great sages, Maharshis, Rishis who are sitting somewhere. Okay, they understand Tattvamasi, they are great. Somewhere it will happen. Then, after listening to Vedanta very frequently, then, oh, it's something related to me only, not about somebody else.
Guruji is Brahman.
Then Guruji is Brahman. Okay, then gradually start going, oh, it's not about Guruji or it is Rishis, it's about me. Then finally it also, oh, it's I. The ignorance has to go like this. Okay. So one who has dropped the ignorance like this, for him, nothing disturbs. He is established in the self. Then he has nothing, he has become apta kama. That means all his desires are fulfilled. He has become akama, which means
Desireless.
desireless. Desireless. Because you have nothing to gain. Once you attain the supreme, there's nothing else to gain from the world. Okay. So such a person is Gnani. Yadnavalkya is telling about such a person, such a Gnani. What is that? Atmanam ched vijaniyat. Atmanam ched. That means you have to recognize the self as I, not somebody, not this. Upanishad says that is Brahman. That means is far off. Now that tat has to come back to I. I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, it has to come. Not that somewhere. Okay. Tattvam asi has to be finally, it has to be clear to you. Aham Brahmasmi. That's the intellectual clarity. First level intellectual clarity is there. Okay. Why it is so? Because of it. But finally, the intellectual clarity has to be the deep rooted. Just like you are feeling I am a man or I am a woman, you should feel I am Brahman. Okay. That ego also can say I am Brahman. Still the concept is that I am the body, I am the mind, but still that ego can say I am Brahman because that gives a feeling of comfort. Now that has to be accompanied by I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am Brahman. Okay. Of course, ego can fool you. Finally, what is that? What happens? That if you really recognize Brahman as yourself, all desires will drop, including desire for mukti, including desire for enlightenment, because you are already reached there. Otherwise, deep inside, there will be always a small doubt. If you are true to yourself, the doubt will come. Have I reached? Is this Brahman? Right? It is not for somebody else to prove. For you, there will be a gap inside. Am I Brahman? So you may say, oh, because I know Vedanta, Aham Brahmasmi and all, you may say. But deep inside, it will be there. And that will express in your voice, your talk, your behavior in life.
The gap will express.
The gap ultimately manifests in your life. Right? So the questions, the mind will raise the questions. So if you are true to yourself, there are many people who may start thinking that I am Brahman by reading some scriptures. Okay. But ultimately, it's not intellectual knowledge. You have to recognize the self beyond the intellect. And that can happen. That will happen eventually to everybody with the Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa. Clarity has to emerge day to day. What is the clarity? Who I am, the clarity has to emerge. Real I. Who is Brahman? The real clarity has to emerge. And then both will match. Until that both clarity is not there, the matching will not happen. So when you recognize that you are not the body and you are merged with the Brahman, that's a deep peace. Then he knows very clearly, I am Brahman. Okay, it is not a vague understanding. There's a lot of clarity. Just like I am a man or woman. The identity, self-identity, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a body, I am a husband, I am a wife, gets replaced by I am Brahman. The self-awareness, it gets replaced by self-awareness. You'll not be able to express it because it's a deep silence, peace. But the understanding is so clear that you'll not mistake it. How does he know Brahman? So first you have to know yourself. I. What is I? I is not body. Body is an object. I is not a mind. Mind is an object. Body and mind keep appearing, disappearing. I am the unchanging reality behind the body and mind. That's called Sakshi or Pratyagatma. And Brahman is all pervading, the supreme reality. Okay, Brahman is pure awareness, principle of knowing, right? Brahman is Kutastha, unchanging reality. The self is Brahman. I am Brahman. I am Atma Brahman. So this understanding will very clearly emerge. It's not a vague concept. Okay, you may not express and come and tell that I am Brahman, but deep inside you know very well I am Brahman. Once that happened,
before that final thing happens, in the middle it will be as an identity, right? Like a new identity which will drop all the other identities.
Yes. Initially it will be still a concept. Initially it will be a concept, right?
So it will be a strong identity. It will weaken my other identities.
Correct. It's like Brahmara Kita Nyaya. Okay. In Brahmara Kita Nyaya, what will happen? A Brahmara is I don't know what you call it in English. It is a type of insect. It's a type of it's some sort of a humming bee or something like that. Brahmara. So that catches sort of an insect and it keeps it in this cage. The idea is it wants to eat the insect or it wants to feed the insect to his child. The insect is so much afraid of Brahmara. It constantly thinks of Brahmara day in and day out. And because it constantly thinks of Brahmara, that insect becomes Brahmara. Insect takes the form of the bee, humming bee, Brahmara. Okay, this is called Brahmara Kita Nyaya. Whatever you constantly think of, you become that. So we have always constantly think of Shivoham, I am pure consciousness. We should not think I am sinner, I am wrong. We should not put negative qualities on the self. You have to always put qualities on the self, divine qualities. Shivoham, I am pure consciousness, I am Atma Swarupa, I am Brahma Swarupa. So like that, we should never denigrate the self. Not in your words, not in your actions. Because whatever you are speaking, thinking of yourself may not be true today. But whatever you are thinking, you are actually taking that shape. Your thought shapes your life. What you think, you become. Okay. So don't think that I cannot, how I can think of I am Brahman. So the Upanishads are saying, what is your problem? The Vedanta is telling that you are Brahman. So you have to constantly think I am Brahman. Today it will not be reality. But gradually, because of Brahmara Kita Nyaya, whatever you think starts becoming reality. So never use negative words for yourself. Never use wrong words for yourself. Always contemplate Soham, Shivoham. Okay. And what you think becomes your reality. Never think that I am a sinner. Never think that I am depressed. Never think that I am fool. Never think that I am wrong. Okay. That's all actions of the mind. The self is always pure. It's Shiva Swarupa. So this understanding you have to constantly have in your mind. Then the mind gets purified. Otherwise, if you keep feeding wrong information to the mind will get corrupted. Already is corrupted. based on the Upanishad. Initially, it's a self-identity, new identity. I am Brahman. Okay. Yes, you know it is a thought, but that thought purifies. Finally, you recognize your true self.
What was the question of Jankaraj?
No, he's asking, just tell me more. Somebody is asking a question?
No.
Okay. So then we have a concept that we have an understanding that the mukti or liberation is very difficult to get. That is because of our mental impressions. Okay. Mukti is nothing but your own self, the self itself. The wrong understanding of the self has to be corrected with the right understanding. It is not about correcting something else. Self is wrongly understood as body, mind, husband, wife, and functions. They are all called upadhis or conditioning. The conditioning is something like this. Water, you add sugar and coffee powder, it becomes coffee. But nothing has happened to the water. It has a new flavor. Similarly, water, if you add coffee, tea powder and milk, it becomes tea. But water is water only. Okay. A body and mind is a conditioning for the self. Body, mind, and your profession. Upadhi. It's called conditioning. It's called upadhi. By adding the conditioning, the self has not changed. By adding sugar and milk or coffee powder, water has not become coffee. There's a flavor of coffee which is there. Similarly, but if you understand that water is there in coffee, you are separating out water from the conditioning, upadhi. Similarly, Atma is conditioned by body, mind, intellect.
Atma is not conditioned.
Now the conditions are put on there's a conditioning appears to be there on the self. Unconditioned self is I am. That unconditioned self is Brahman. It is nothing difficult to understand, but our own mental vasanas, impressions are preventing it. How to get rid of impressions? Get rid of impressions. Yes, that's accepted that there are impressions. There's nothing wrong in that because we have lived our life like that. There's a conditioning from the society. So, bhakti yoga, karma yoga, you have to do continuously. Upasana. You have to think of the divine qualities constantly. Understanding that divine or Bhagavan is not different from your Atma. Your self only has manifested divine. The self manifests as everything. The self is all powerful. It manifests as everything. The self itself has manifested as a Guru or God, Rama or Krishna or Shiva, your Ishta Devata. And doing your Upasana, constantly thinking of the divine qualities, the mind gets purified. And offering all your actions as service to God will also purify. So the purification process, jnana, has to go on together. Okay. So don't be under the impression that jnana means dropping all upasana. No. The upasana is required for purifying the mind. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga is important. Okay. And once you understand that, yeah, moksha just by listening, Tattvamasi, will I get Brahmadana? Will I get self-knowledge? Possibly, yes, in case of some very elevated souls. For them, just by listening, they can become free. But for most of the people, we need to constantly put effort to make the mind purer and calmer for receiving the jnana. Okay. So a person who is seeker will not be disheartened by this. If something is worth attaining, he'll put all his efforts. He knows that it's very well, it is not very well that it may take time or effort to reach there. The time and effort is not because of self, because of my own understanding, my own cluttering of the mind has to be removed. He'll put a constant effort and he will work patiently towards that. It's not that he'll get impatient. He is not getting something which is, he is only recognizing his true nature. The correction has to happen in my understanding, that's all. For correction to happen, bhakti yoga, upasana, upasana and bhakti yoga mean same thing, and karma yoga, and coupled with jnana, he'll constantly put an effort. It is just like improving your health. Okay. For gym you go every day and you keep on running with the treadmill. Are you going somewhere? Some few kilometers you are running? You are running where you are. Okay? You are not moving 1 inch. But you do it every day because it improves your health. Okay? Atma Dnana or Brahma Dnana is not getting Atma or Brahman. It's already what you have. Okay? Daily by practice of Upasana, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Dnana, gradually you recognize what you have rather than what you get. By running on the treadmill, you will not get health. Health is what you have. Okay. But what causes ill health will drop. You are not going anywhere. Like that, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga will help you to lose the ignorance or pollution of the mind. The self is already there. Understand? So knowing very well, the person who is seeking the self will put a constant effort. He understands. He doesn't get impatient. When will I realize? He knows this process is going to take me. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, Bhakti, and Karma Yoga. Whatever work he does it a service to God, and he will do chanting, bhajans, prayers to God, praise for purification of the mind. He knows I don't have to get Atma. Atma is pure. Mind is what is impure. So he seeks the divine help in terms of purification of the mind. And divine is there in terms of the Lord, divine incarnation of Rama, Krishna, or Guru is there in the form of Jnana. So he keeps listening to Jnana and gets involved in Upasana and Karma Yoga. Okay. So this is what happens. This is the process of Atma Jnana. And until he recognizes, I am the Brahman, the clarity has to emerge. I am Brahman. My all wrong understanding of self has to go. So what is the guarantee, you can ask? What is the guarantee that self-realization will happen one day? Okay. Everything in life goes by faith. When you go to a doctor, what is the guarantee that the medicine which he gives will cure you? Okay. So there's a faith in the doctor, faith in the medical system. That's where in Sanatana Dharma, every upasana, there's a phala is told, phalashruti. There's a phalashruti for everything. Right? Have you heard of phalashruti of Vishnu Sahasranama? Vishnu Sahasranama chanting, there's a phalashruti. What is the phalashruti? Anybody can remember? The phalashruti of Vishnu Sahasranama is the warrior, the king will be victorious. Okay? Right? The person who has a disease will become free from disease. Okay. Like that, there are many Falashrutis are there. Now, whether Falashruti means after doing this will get. That is told for everything. Lalita Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, for each puja phala, that's a puja phala. If you do with the faith, that phala will come. The problem is not in the doing. The phala is not coming, it is because of faith. Faithfully, if you follow, the phala will come. The missing link is not the procedure. The procedure is designed and created by rishis, a well thought out methodology and procedure. Ultimately, if you do that, follow that with the true faith, the phala will come. Okay. Whatever phala, every word of phala will come. This is what is it. That's why there's a story in terms of Yadnavalkya's time. Yadnavalkya's guru was there. The king in that country, the king of that place, his daughter was suffering from a very severe disorder. It's some skin disorder. I guess it's some white skin becoming patches, some psoriasis, some disease. The king's daughter was suffering from that. King tried many medicines from all doctors of Ayurveda, all those doctors at that time, he tried, and nothing worked. Then the doctor said, maybe some puja or rituals in the Vedic rituals can help. Okay. So then king comes to the ashram of the guru of Yadnavalkya, and requests, can you please perform some puja so that my daughter is cured. The guru does not have confidence that puja will cure. Okay, he starts giving some excuses. Because guru is afraid, if I do the puja and she is not cured, the grants coming to the ashram will stop. The king is giving funds to the ashram, and he does an attempt and fails. Okay, his funds will stop. That's what he is worried. Then Yadnavalkya, who is a small boy sitting there, he says, I will do yadna. Why are you bothering my guru? He doesn't want to. He wants to make sure that guru is not feeling uncomfortable. Guru is uncomfortable, he can see. He says, I will do the yadna. Okay. His idea is, if I do a yadna and fail it, it's only Shishya who has done, not the guru. One way. Then he has a more confidence in himself and Vedas than guru. Then king says, the king looks at him. The Yadnavalkya says, when anything is done with faith in Vedas, the mantras will give definitely results. The mantras have the power. The mantras are nothing but vibrations. Those vibrations will cure. Okay, the vibrations will purify. And with the faith in the Vedas, faith in the mantras, and the procedure told in Vedas has to be followed properly. It's not that you have to do this way, that way. Everything has to be done with a certain precision. If it's done properly, you'll get the result. Then king has still some doubt. So then Yadnavalkya uses a certain mantra in Vedic mantras, and drops water. He actually sprinkles water on a dead wood. That dead wood starts sprouting. The leaf starts coming. It becomes alive. The king is very much impressed. Okay, he requests Yadnavalkya to come to palace and perform the yadna for his daughter. The story is Yadnavalkya goes to the king's palace and performs the yadna. Daughter is cured. Now the guru gets upset with Yadnavalkya. Shishya has become better than me. That's the story. Further story. right? So the faith in some Vedas, the faith in Vedic mantras, the faith and proper process, if you follow, it will give the desired result. Okay? The desired result in case of Atmadnana is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Listening to the truth, contemplation on the truth will give Atmadnana. This is the teaching of Vedas. This is the promise of Vedas. So if you have faith in Vedas, if you follow the procedure properly, the wisdom will come. The self-realization will happen. Your faith and your commitment is what makes a difference. The result may happen today, the result may come after some time, but a person who has a faith will not lose interest. He will do every day with the same commitment. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, and Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. He makes it as a part of his life. So what is the benefit of becoming a Gnani? The Vedas are promising if you follow Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, all your suffering will go. The suffering is related to body and mind. The self has no suffering. Now the problem, the confusion is there that there is a superimposition of the body, mind and the self. I am mixing up the self with the body, mind. After you get Atmadnana, the self-realization, body and mind will go through their own suffering. Okay? Because of Prarabdha Karma, residual Prarabdha Karma, it will go through. There are instances of sages like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi getting cancer. It will come. But the difference is, in case of an ordinary man, the diseases cause disturbance. Troubles cause disturbance. In case of a Gnani, like Ramana Maharshi, they are calm inside, silent inside, knowing very well nothing has to happen to the self. The body is a part of nature, is going through its own cycle. So finally, you attain Parashanti or supreme peace, which cannot be which cannot be disturbed by any events happening in life, anything happening in life. So there's nothing more greater bliss, greater joy than the joy of self-realization. This is the promise of Upanishads. You will attain eternal peace. You realize that you are birthless, deathless, supreme self. Provided you go through Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa for Jnana, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga for purification of mind. The commitment is required from you. The promise is given by Upanishads. Unless it's already 11 o'clock.
We initially spoke about devotion.
Okay. So we'll stop at this. Tomorrow, the self-realization, who realizes self is the question. Self is the mind alone. Mana eva karanam manushanam bandha moksha. Mind itself is the cause of bondage and liberation. It is said that mind cannot reach the self, but mind can merge with the self. So how is that so? We'll understand tomorrow. What is it? Is the question?
How do we practice surrender?
How do we practice?
Surrender.
Is the question. Who is asking?
Sudhir.
Sudhir. Okay. So there is a question. So there is a question on how do we practice surrender? What is surrender? So we have seen, okay, somebody points a gun at your head. I am surrendered. I have lifted my hand. That means whatever you want to do, you can do to me. Lift my hand. Okay, right? So I'm helpless. So that is a gunpoint surrender. Surrender out of fear. Okay. The surrender which we are speaking of here is not out of fear. Surrender which we are speaking out of wisdom, understanding. It's not the fear of God which makes us surrender. It is the understanding of life which makes us surrender. Okay. In life, you have to understand everything is changing moment to moment. Every moment things are changing. Okay. Not a single thing in life is constant. The world changes, the body changes, the mind changes, the intellect changes. It's a constantly moving phenomenon. Correct? It's a movement. But what doesn't change is the self. I, the experiencer, I, the knower, doesn't change. Everything else is changing. What is changing as a part of nature, I don't have a control. Right? I can probably air condition my house, but I cannot air condition the whole city or the world. The nature keeps changing. Correct? External situations, external conditions keep changing. And we experience different conditions in life, sometimes positive, sometimes negative, as our mind, according to our lifestyle. And these conditions appear in front of us because of changing nature. Right? One day there will be sunshine, and other day there will be cloud. One day there will be rain, other there will be thunderstorm. So what is the point of getting agitated, upset by changing weather? Many people are upset. It's a bad day today, they will say. The day cannot be bad. The day is a day. It is a part of seasonal changes. Some day it will be raining, some day it will be shining. It's a bad day. It's a bad raining today. How can the rain be bad? How can be rain? How can be there can be a bad day? We are constantly making judgment about the condition. Okay. If we start doing judgment about the condition, we accept it as a part of nature. Similarly, different things happen in our life. Sometimes some disease comes. Sometimes there is a health. Sometimes there is ill health. Sometimes there is loss in business. Sometimes there is a gain in business. Sometimes there is success in life. Sometimes there is failure in life. These are all happening as a part of nature. But we don't accept it. We start fighting with that. Okay. Internally, there is a resistance to that. Without understanding that there's a part of nature. Success comes and failure also comes. There's no guarantee that success always will be there. In fact, success and failure are two faces of the coin. You cannot separate out one face, but constantly we are looking for success and avoid failure in life. Constantly we are looking for happiness and avoid unhappiness in life. Reject it. This can't happen. This is not nature. And nature will keep on throwing different things in our life. Okay. So if you think that if you understand its nature, you will take it calmly. You will not get agitated. You will not resist it. You will start looking, okay, this is what is happening now. Okay, happening in the life is neither good or not bad. It is just an event. Then you'll ask a question, how do I handle this event? Okay, there's a rain there. Many people will say it's a bad rain, so disgusting, they'll say, and they'll get upset. A wise person will say, it's a rain. What should I do now? Use an umbrella or a raincoat. If you start taking events in life as events, not judging them, not labeling them, then we don't resist. The moment you label it as good or bad, then we are actually biased. If you say, oh, this is a very, very good day, How can be day can be good or bad? Day is a day. So then you start rejecting some as bad days. Stop labeling life, first level of surrender. Then consider every event in life, everything happening in life as an event. Sunshine, rain, health, good health, bad health, disease, loss, everything is event. Stop labeling as event as good or bad. Then accept it as a part of nature. Nature always throws the opposites. Accept it. Then you are ready for very effective action rather than worrying about that, rather than getting biased. So that there is no resistance in you to the happenings in life. Okay, everything is an event, passing event, and you take appropriate your action based on the passing event. Sometimes you may not be able to take action also. You accept it. But what happens in this acceptance process? Your mind becomes calm. Mind doesn't get agitated. Okay. So there's a saying, tatata, tatata. It is like that. For example, will you ever get agitated if the fire is hot? You'll not get agitated because fire is hot, because fire's nature is to be hot. Okay. But you will get agitated when your husband or wife is angry. Why? Because you cannot accept that husband and wife can get angry. The fire's nature is to burn, but husband and wife should not get angry. They should be cool like a cucumber all the time. Okay, I want a husband who is cool like a cucumber all the time.
No, ice cream.
Or ice cream, like ice cream. Okay, right?
Chocolate.
So chocolate or ice cream like all the time. But the poor fellow doesn't have control. His nature is to get angry. Okay, right? You are not able to accept it. So the moment you accept, the fire can be hot because it's nature. A person can be angry or depressed or jealousy or hatred can come from the person because of his inner nature. Inner nature is based on sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. You will accept a person as it is without commenting. The moment you accept as a person as it is, the mind will be calm. Okay, so don't resist life, accept life. This is called surrender. Then you'll also say, I have done best thing in my life. Okay, all of my life I have led a life which is pious life. I'm almost like a saint. Okay, but why this problem is coming to me? Okay, so people, there are unexplained things in life. The nature of life is continuous change. Nature of life, a lot of things can happen to you unexpected way. Right? A person who is very good may face a lot of diseases, a lot of difficulties. Saints like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had cancer. Okay, unexplained things can happen to you, not logical. Everything you can take as a part of nature, but why it's happening to me? You'll ask the question. Instead of why it's happening to me, just say, this is what is happening. What can I do about it? Neither judge nor criticize. Just accept it, then ready for next action. Then you'll ask, why? How can I accept this type of problem for such a good man like me? You'll say. Actually, most of the time the question is like this only. How can it happen to me? Okay, anything can happen to anybody because nature is nature. Okay, right? Anything can happen to anybody at any point of time. We have to accept. Then there's a logical understanding about life. The logical understanding is nothing can happen to me without a cause. Okay, what is the cause for what's happening to me? I don't know. So then in Vedanta, in the teachings of Upanishad, it says all our happenings in our life is called predestined. It's because of our karma or actions which you have done in the past. Okay, actions which I have done in the remote past, which I don't know, I forgotten the action. The effect of that is coming now. The karma phala is coming now. If I accept that, then I am taking responsibility. Otherwise, I keep on blaming the other person. I keep on blaming the situation. Don't blame anybody. Don't judge anybody. Take responsibility. If I have done some karma, it is coming to you. When I did what I did, I don't know. So the karma will empower you. The surrender means accepting the law of karma. What happens in my life is because of what I did. Now, is the law of karma true? Don't worry about that. What it means is that you have the power to create your life. The karma, law of karma is giving, empowering you. I can change my situation in life by accepting it. This is my own doing. If you keep on blaming somebody, then your life will be miserable. You are not taking responsibility. If you accept that karma is what happens in my life is because of my own doing in earlier sometime in life, I'll accept life. I'll accept whatever happens in my life, any misery, any suffering. I accept as my karma. The moment I accept as karma, my mind becomes peaceful. Oh, this is my own doing. Then the next question is asking, okay, this karma is my own doing in the past. What can I do now? So you become proactive rather than reactive. So surrender means accepting the nature, non-judgmental, not resisting life, accepting what happens in your life as a past karma. And the karma, why the karma phala came to me? It's because of God, God's will. So the God's will is the karma. So surrender to God's will also means same thing. This all means the same thing. Life without resistance, life without judgment, life of taking responsibility, okay, is called karma. And in no situation, in this is called surrender. And in no situation, in all these situations, your mind will be very peaceful. The surrender makes the mind peaceful. Is that answer clear?
Too much divine scratch.
So,
Wait.
any questions?
Yeah. I didn't understand. He said yes.
Okay. So there is a question. There is a question here. The question is, being in family life, okay, how can I attain purification of myself through karma shuddhi, through doing karma and gnana? How can he do? Who has no family? Everybody has family. Everybody is a family. Everybody lives in the family only. Do you think a monk doesn't live in family? Monk lives in a family community of other monks. And in fact, a sannyasi has a bigger family. Okay? A person who has become a monk, he becomes a monk saying that whole world is my family. I am doing service for the whole world. So your family is bigger. So it's not a question of family of husband, wife, or children. It's an attitude towards the family. Okay? The family is given to you by God as a support system for your survival. It's a shared responsibility. Where the husband or wife work outside for earning livelihood, the husband or wife take care of the family, bring up the children. There is a shared responsibility in the family. The family means a shared responsibility. Okay. Now, this responsibility, if you think that this responsibility is because I married this person, I have these children, and this is my family, the concept of the family has to be shifted a little bit. Anything which happens in my life is for my evolution, my spiritual evolution. Okay, whether it's marriage or children or job or responsibilities, marriage is my evolution. I have two aspects of my life myself. One is the inner aspect and one is the outer aspect. Outer aspect of my life is I have to earn something, otherwise I can't survive. Right? So the earning something, making a living is the outer aspect. The inner aspect is self-realization, making mind peaceful, attaining Atma-dhnana is the inner aspect. Now, are they opposite of each other? They're not opposite of each other. If you can't survive outside, how will you become self-realized? Survival and self-realization, they go together. Okay? Survival is required and self-realization is required. So, all the facility which you have, husband, wife, or the job, is for your self-realization, as for your survival, which is supporting of self-realization. They're not opposite. Are you getting what I'm saying? Survival is not opposite of self-realization. The samsara is not opposite of self-realization. This is confusion which is people having. Without survival, you cannot self-realize. Even monks have to survive. They go and do begging. Survival and self-realization are complementary to each other. Okay. Now the intelligence is how do you align this survival and self-realization? How do you align this? Correct? It is not two opposite purposes, but it's only one purpose: survival and self-realization. They are not opposite of each other. Are you getting what I'm saying? Survival and samsara and self-realization, people think it's opposite. No, it's not opposite. It's complementary. It's supporting each other. How does it support each other? Your daily food, job, all these things are required for you to survive and maintain the body. Without the body being there, you cannot self-realize. And your husband, wife, or children or family are supporting that. And job is also supporting that. They are not opposite. That you have to realize. Okay. Now, if that being case, and self-realization is the purpose, then for self-realization, all these are given to you. Everything is given to you for self-realization purpose only. Okay. So everything is a gift of God. Whatever is there, family or a job or husband or a wife, is a gift of God. It's a grace of God. Okay. That grace, if you have in mind, then whatever work you do becomes an offering to God. Oh God, you have given me this facility. I am doing it as your service. Our sage Basavana told, Kayakave Kailasa. The work is worship. Why do you worship? Because whatever work you do, okay, the job has been given, job is there for you to survive. It is actually, some employer has given, but ultimately it's a facility created by society, and society is created by God. I am under the service of God. I am working for God. Self-realization is God realization. I am working for God. So I am doing service. Now, every work, if you convert into activity of service, every activity you convert into as an offering to God, then whatever work you do becomes worship. So 24 hours you are in a worshipful mode, 24 hours you are in a prayerful mode. Then whenever you find time, you go to meditation. So then there's Guru's teachings, the teaching of Atma-dhnana. Atma-dhnana teaching you have to hear. In earlier days, you have to go to some ashram or Himalayas to get the teaching of Guru. Nowadays, thanks to the technology, Google and internet and YouTube, whenever you're at home, you can sit and listen to the wisdom teachings. Earlier days, you have to go to Gurukula, ashram to get teachings. Now, Guru has come to your house in the form of Google, in the form of YouTube. So, you have a facility of Atma-dhnana sitting at home, comfort of your home. You have a facility of a husband working for you and getting food for you, money for you. So, you have all facilities are provided, and all facilities are provided by existence, God. So, you have to live as a offering to God. Any work we do, if we live thankfully as an offering to God, then our mind becomes more and more calm. And if you keep cursing, oh, this is why this is the hell, this kind of job I have, then your mind gets agitated. Then you are not thankful. Are you thankful in your life? No, how can I be thankful? My husband is such a monster, or my wife is such a Mahakali. Okay? My husband is such a terrible person, my wife is such a terrible person. How I can be thankful? You have to be thankful for that also. Because if your husband is not such a terrible person, or if your wife is not such a terrible person, how will you get to go on the path of spiritual reality? Okay? The more and more adverse conditions we face in life, the more and more of our mind turns to God. So adverse conditions also, we have to be thankful. That's why Kunti, Sri Krishna asked Kunti, what blessings you need in next life? Kunti said, this life I had gone through a lot of trouble. Her Pandavas, children Pandavas, they didn't get the kingdom. The Mahabharata war you saw. Never a single day she was a queen. She said, in next life, give me more trouble. Okay, so that the more trouble is there, I can think of God more. Adverse circumstance in life always makes our mind, ripens our mind, and takes our mind to self, God. So, whether good condition in life or adverse condition in life is for your self relation, God relation. That being the case, you should live our life in a attitude of gratitude, attitude of thankfulness. So, all that we have to do is samsara, we have to continue samsara, the world or family, we have to convert into attitude of gratitude, thankfulness to God, whether it's adverse, whether it's a positive. That ripens us. In fact, a person starts evolving only in difficulties. So the more difficulties you have, more you'll evolve. So either good condition or difficult condition is a grace. Once you start accepting it and you start living your life as a gratefulness to God, whatever work you do become worship. Otherwise, we keep on facing hardship in life. So that's karma yoga. Then, if you are really doing the karma yoga, all activities you do starts purifying the mind, and mind becomes silent. The mind becomes agitated only when you start seeing, judging situation. Okay, that's the karma yoga is like this. A person was going in a hot sun. Okay, three people were breaking the stones. A person, he asked the first person, what are you breaking the stone for? The person says, don't you see, it's a hot sun. Okay, I have such a bad situation. God has cursed me. In this hot sun, I have to break the stone. Okay, I have to make a living, he says. Then next person he asks, yeah, I am breaking the stone. What to do? I have to make a living. Somebody is constructing a building there. So he is also sweating. The third person is breaking the stone joyfully. The hot sun is there. He is sweating, but he is joyful. He asks him, what are you doing? Then he says, I am breaking the stone. This stone is used, the stone which I am using is breaking is used for a construction of a temple. So many people will come, devotees will come. And the work which I have done, will become God's service. See, this stone I am cutting is the stone of path, stepping stone. So many devotees will cross on this stone. How much punya I will get? Okay, I am so joyful. I am so thankful to God. All the three people are doing same work, but attitude of doing work is very different. Samsara, if you look at it in a different attitude, as a grace of God, whether it's good condition or bad condition, ill health or ill health, everything is a grace of God, making your mind move towards self-realization, then you are done in life. Atma Dana, receive the Dana wherever you are, based on whatever medium you have, in the presence of the Guru, in the video, YouTube, or books, receive it, purify your mind. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. And then meditate whatever little time you have. So the life will be purified. Does it answer your question?
He says, not in all the situations people allow the oppose going into spiritual.
Correct. See, the question here is not all the time, not all the people, okay, support. They oppose going in the spiritual path. Okay. So that is the question. So the spiritual path is not an external dress. People think that spiritual path is external dress, Rudraksha mala or nama. It has nothing to do with that. Spiritual path is your inner ripening. How can somebody oppose you? What is happening inside you? You are only in charge of what's happening inside you. Nobody can stop what's happening inside you. Okay? People may oppose you are going to ashram. How people can oppose what you are listening on YouTube? How people can stop you what you are doing? Okay? Don't change your dress. Don't change your shape. Don't change. Don't have to external changes. Don't have to stop doing anything. You have to use your time intelligently and for inner growth. Spirituality is inner growth. It has nothing to do with the external situation. People may oppose. Okay? It doesn't matter what they can oppose. Okay, you are going there, don't go. You are doing this, don't go. But what stops you? What people can stop you from doing puja, from sitting in meditation, in your puja? Oh, puja room, I don't not allowed in my house. Doesn't matter. Close your eyes. God is in your heart. How can anybody stop? In fact, some of the great sages have suffered so much for God. Okay, very adverse condition. Not whatever we are speaking of. Our conditions are very small. There is a Sant Ramdas. He constructed Rama temple, and he was put in the prison. He was tortured every day. He was beaten with the nails every day. Okay, but he found God, Rama, in his heart. We are not going through that much of difficult condition in life. Who can oppose us? How can somebody oppose us in an internal journey? External journey, I can say, how can somebody oppose? Internal journey, nobody can oppose, nobody can stop. It is between you and God. God is in your heart. How can it stop? How can somebody stop and interfere in your thinking process? Thinking is happening in your mind. Somebody can stop you from doing something. Spirituality is not at all about doing. Spirituality is about inner journey, inner maturity. How can somebody stop? Does it answer your question? Okay, let us stop. Namdella one-sided argument for God, sir. Huh? What?
Perfect liars.
Ah.
Can be